mean, I like whatever Linda puts around my neck.
Kind of like pause before that last word.
Yeah, like you wanted to say something else.
Yeah, I'm not committed. Let's
I'm
go
just
with
gonna
it.
go, yeah. Patriots came in averaging almost 40 points per game over their previous 4 games, but they were slowed down by the Bills. They only scored 1 offensive touchdown last night. So if you're Bill Belichick and there's about 8 hours or however many hours right now until the trade deadline, who are you looking to try and bring into this team?
Who wants to go first? I'm hoarse from the highlight, Sean. I'll come.
How about you go first, Sean?
Well, when I look at this team, I think the Patriots, they do a great job of just winning with who they have, but I would say their defense could use a pass rusher. And, look, you can look around the league. They're not going to give up a big draft pick going forward, so, it would have to be, somebody that they could get for either a future late-round, 7th-round pick or, they picked up Adrian Claiborne in free agency. I could see them maybe calling somebody, like Denver, somebody who has a plethora of pass rushers and saying, hey, are you willing to move anybody? But this defense, they struggle to get after the quarterback. They could definitely use a little bit of help, especially down the road as you start playing some of these better teams.
Yeah, I think the defense could use help, but the simple answer for me is nobody. Don't add anybody.
No?
New England's New England, man. They hit the lottery. I say they hit the lottery by getting a guy like Josh Gordon, who's a tremendous player. You don't know if you can totally count on him yet, but for now, I think he's proven that he can be relied on right now. And so I like the team. I think they could use a pass rusher. They are not very good on defense. They're okay. They're serviceable.
Yeah.
But when you have the GOAT as the quarterback of your team, you always got a chance to win the game. So I just know New England is so consistent in what they put on the field. We're worried that they didn't score 40 points. I'm not worried because at the end of the day, when you're in that locker room, we just want to win. We don't care how you win. That's why the Redskins, they look is sloppy when they play, but they win games. And so I think New England, the formula is already there, man. Just keep doing what you're doing.
I will say, by the way, just like as a shout out, Kyle Van Noy, he had himself a game last night.
Play good.
They were missing Dr. Hightower.
Yeah,
he
got the
made
pressure
some really good plays
on the Hail Mary against the Bears that prevented the ball from getting all the way to the end zone. Remember, they caught that ball on the 1-yard line, so that could have been a different thing. Kyle Van Noy playing very well this year. Got a contract extension, I believe, late last season. I'm glad you said what you said about Josh Gordon, because I said it yesterday and I got roasted by Sean O'Hara over here and a couple of people on Twitter. You're right. Look, you don't quite know at any point what you're going to get with Josh Gordon. I'll also say with Rob Gronkowski, you don't know what you're going to get from him health-wise. So to me, I'll say wide receiver, and I know that they are looking at wide receiver, which confirms my suspicions that they realize that they might need some help at that position. So we're talking about Demaryius Thomas and Golden Tate and some of the other guys that are out there. Wouldn't be shocked if they make a move for a wide receiver today, just to have another little bullet that you can fire there on the offense. Now, some of these guys got big numbers on their contract, and at this point, if Denver still believed that Demaryius Thomas deserved those numbers, they wouldn't be looking to trade him. I know they do want some legitimate compensation for him. I think they might have to temper their expectations a little bit.
You wouldn't be shocked if the Patriots brought in a wide receiver or maybe didn't bring in a wide receiver. What about Ian Rappaport? Would you be shocked if the Patriots made a move for a wide receiver? The trade deadline fast approaching, a lot of players out there who might be changing teams, wearing different jerseys. So who are some of the names floating around out there?
Well, let's answer your question you just asked. First of all, I would not be shocked if the Patriots did end up bringing in a wide receiver. I know they basically had those sorts of conversations really since training camp, and I would imagine those are going to continue. By the way, I also won't be surprised if the Patriots traded a wide receiver. They're the Patriots. They will probably end up doing both. We'll see what happens at 4 o'clock. But, Colleen, I want to talk about a couple defenders who are on the trade block now. One is Packers first-round safety HaHa Clinton-Dix. This is an interesting name. He's playing well this year, much better than he did last year. Due to hit free agency, and you're always going to want a big salary. I know some teams have been interested. We're going to keep an eye on that one. Janoris Jenkins, the Giants corner, is certainly another name to watch in the wake of their fire sale last week. This is one that probably has the most value on their team as far as someone who actually could be traded. Olivier Vernon would, but it does not sound like the Giants would like to move him. So, of course, Janoris Jenkins, their former big-time free agent acquisition, that is someone to watch. A couple other quick defenders to keep an eye on. Jamie Collins, former Patriot, now Browns linebacker. I know the Patriots have had talks about bringing him back. We'll keep an eye on that one. And then the Raiders are shopping Bruce Irvin, their high-priced pass rusher. That is another one to monitor.
Okay, a lot of names to keep our eye on. I know you're going to do it for us. Thank you, Ian. You'll let us know when something happens. But what do you guys think about those names that are now being floated around?
Jamie Collins got a big contract. I talked to a general manager of a team yesterday and said that contract is unmovable. They're going to have to eat some of that. That was the previous regime that gave Jamie Collins that big number there. So I can't imagine that there'd be A, high compensation for him, or B, if they don't eat some of that money that he's going to wind up going anywhere.
Yeah, and I like Janoris Jenkins. Me being a DB guy, I think if teams knew that Janoris Jenkins was possibly on the block and not Eli Apple, I think they would have probably took Janoris Jenkins. Obviously, contracts a little more, but I think Janoris Jenkins is still a lockdown corner in this league. He needs some help. You know, they don't have necessarily the best defense. They're out there a lot, but you know, I still think Janoris Jenkins can play, man. He can help a playoff team out.
I'm with you on
right
Jack
now.
Rabbit, and to trade both your starting corners.
I know.
I don't know if the Giants could recover from that. But I would talk about pass rushers for the Patriots, and Ian threw out Bruce Irvin. So there you go.
Yeah, that would be a great.
He's been.
Ooh, that would be good, though.
Yeah, but they've been talking to teams for a while about him, or at least trying to. Yeah, oh yeah. That's not a new development.
Yeah,
but
money.
Then again, who else isn't on the block there? Who else is on the block? Who?
Right?
Hey, you
What am I
need two.
trying
You
to
need
say?
two to tango.
Yeah, I understand. I'm just saying, everybody's.
Hey, we
A
love
lot
to
of
trade Mike
teams.
Garafolo.
It's not breaking news that the Raiders. Never mind.
Wait, what's that?
It's all right. We
They just
feel
tried to
ya.
trade you. I'm just hearing in my ear. They
Bag
just
of
tried to
donuts
trade
coming
my.
up.
And we're moving.